joined by Rohit Tandon, Fund Manager at Kotak Mahindra AMC. Mr. Tandon, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now. India too has rare earth reserves, right? But the supply chain and the technological know-how is something that India and several other countries don't have. Given how the situation is evolving in the global market, how soon do you expect the fight to end and how do you expect this to shape up going forward?
So thank you very much for having me here. As far as you have rightly put it as a tug of war, a fight between China and the rest of the world. We should remember that China has, supremacy in rare earths. As you mentioned, 70% of the production of magnets happen. But I would also like to point out that 90% of the refining capacity of rare earth metals is in China. With such amount of a power, you cannot expect it to be reversed in the immediate term. So this is obviously a medium term to long term sort of, work that all of us will have to do. India has made a good start with the National Rare Earths Mission, which has started this year. And around that, one is getting reports of a PLI, one is hearing about, increased traction among companies to set up refining capacity. The combination of strategy and economics is what will dictate what happens in the rest of the world. But I guess people are now very focused that the strategy of this oblique geopolitical effects of this particular impact have to be met.
Understood. And since you also spoke about the National Critical Mineral Mission that Government of India has launched, do you think the measures that have been announced by the government so far will be sufficient? I understand the gestation period is as long as about 5 to 7 years to actually fructify, but any kind of additional government support that you think the government should go ahead with going forward?
So, it is a variety of measures that will take us there. So, if we are, dialing back into how China became, so powerful, one would have to go to the sheets that were laid in the early 1990s when China decided that they have to be the numero uno as far as rare earths is concerned. So, since then to now, it has been a 20-year ride for them to come to this, or 20 more than 20-year ride for them to come to this particular juncture. Also, in this period, they have built up several amount of IPs and know-hows of how refining should happen. Because this is a very fine thing that we are talking about. It is not just refining iron or refining gold. It is much, much more, minute, if I would say. So, from that perspective, this is a welcome move. It is the start of something, but there would be several more incentives and encouragement that would be required to, meet at least a large part of our domestic requirement.
Understood. So government support will be required in addition to what the government has already been doing. But apart from India, several countries globally have reserves, and most of these countries are trying to work a way out of this problem. Which country do you think will win the battle, and which other countries will probably add more rare earth minerals and magnets to the global fund that we have?
Yeah, so as far as mining is concerned, a lot of countries can do it. So whether it's Australia, whether even the US, whether it is Myanmar, a lot of countries can do the mining of these rare earths. The problem is on the refining side. And if I have to just give you a refining a texture of the problem, for producing 1 ton of a rare metal, you need to sort of process 2000 tons of raw material. So that is the problem. It is not so much at the mining level, it is more at the refining level. And that would require incentives, encouragement by a lot of governments and a lot of private money also coming into building these sort of capacities. So yes, it is something that might not happen in the short term, but over the medium to long term, one would see some sort of attraction. Most of the countries, we are seeing the US taking a lead and pushing some countries into, increasing their mining capacities. I guess one would have to see the results of that, and the results would become clear, I think, in the next couple of years.
All right, so that's the view coming in on where the rare earth industry is headed and which country perhaps will win the battle. Mr. Tandon, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here today on ET Now. Thanks so much.